Alright, so short notice main event, Belal Muhammad stepping in for Hamzat versus Leon Edwards. Alright, so Leon Edwards, he's on a very hot streak. He's won 8 in a row. Belal Muhammad's on a hot streak as well. He's won 8 of his last 9. And yeah, so there's not much to lose for Belal in this fight, really. Like, he's versing, 13th ranked. He's versing the third guy. So if he lost, he won't go back in the rankings or whatever. But if he wins, he goes up to number 3, gets in title contention, all that kind of stuff. So Belal Muhammad, he fought 1 month ago. To the day, I believe. But yeah, he took some damage in that fight. You know, it wasn't all smooth sailing, but he did dominate the fight pretty much. And it is a familiar matchup, the one he's got here, because he was preparing for... No, Liam is orthodox, but he was preparing for a kickboxer who likes to keep it at range. And he's had a few of those recently with Millender, Sato, Lima. But yeah, they're obviously not on the level of Leon Edwards, but still familiar type of style. So Leon Edwards is coming in with a 3-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage. He's definitely 6'2", he's not 6 foot like there. He's pretty tall for the division. So yeah, we'll get into the striking of these two. Alright, so Belal, he has decent stand-up. He will close the distance with a jab, also a level change. It's kind of a tell because anytime he wants to close the distance, or when he wants to be offensive with a takedown or, just a jab or any kind of combination he wants to come through with, he will lower his level. He will just, lower his base a little bit. And it kind of just lets you know he's coming in, and he doesn't feint too much either. So you know when to, be defensive or look for a counter on Belal. So for Leon Edwards, he has a tendency to back up in a straight line onto the fence. When he is pushed back onto the fence, he'll kind of just wait for the opponent to throw so he can just slip and escape. He's not looking for a huge shot on the fence, really. He'll either do that or he'll just, clinch up with the opponent and then look for one of those clinch exit elbows, which he's really good at. Probably the best in the UFC at. Just those clinch exit elbows. It's very good technique of his. Leon is a southpaw. He has a really nice snapping jab. He has a nice 1-2 as well. And for Belal Muhammad, he can get caught on that left-hand side. You see, generally when he does get caught, it's from the left-hand side of his face. So yeah, he ate a lot of straight lefts from Jeff Neal. Also the head kick as well, he ate that. But generally the high kicks, even if an orthodox opponent wants to throw a switch high kick, he has that left hand a little bit low. That right hand a little bit low. No, that's not correct. Yeah, his left hand a little bit low. So yeah, and also his head doesn't move a whole lot off center line. So yeah, he can be a target for that jab, that 1-2 that Leon's going to throw. Alright, so for Leon, another thing that he does that can be exploited is that he will circle to his left if the opponent cuts the cage off, and he will leave his left hand low, his lead hand low, so his right hand, and that can just it can just lead to like a left hook from orthodox opponents, just catching him on the way in if they're smart about cutting off the cage. If you want to know what I'm talking about, watch the Tumenov fight. I think he drops him with the left hook, but it was just a very significant strike in the fight. Tumenov fight, he caught him with the left hook on the fence. For Belal, his rear leg kicks are quite slow. They can be countered quite easily. Or maybe he will be throwing him in this fight because the southpaw versus orthodox dynamic, but yeah, they're very slow. They can be countered quite easily. I probably wouldn't recommend him throwing it in this one. But generally, versing an orthodox opponent, he'll throw the lead leg kick now, which is much quicker, and also he retracts it much quicker and better. So yeah, that's good now, but, I wouldn't be surprised if he opens up with the rear leg kicks against the southpaw, like Leon Edwards. In the grappling department, Belal Muhammad has very good takedown entries. He will often succeed in like clinching a single leg or getting his hands around his opponent's legs or hips. And after he does that, he'll drive onto the fence. He completes a lot of his takedowns on the fence. But Leon Edwards, he's very good at defending takedowns on the fence. Like, you must chain wrestle him if you want to take him down the fence. Even Usman was having a real tough time taking him down the fence until he kind of started getting more success with his single leg in the open, I believe. I didn't watch the Usman fight I watched it for the Hamzat Chimaev matchup with Leon, but I didn't watch it for the Belal Muhammad, so I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure he started hitting the single leg in the open. That's what kind of gave him the momentum in that fight. So how these guys win their fights. For Belal Muhammad, he's pretty much solid everywhere. He's got a good all-round game. He has good recoverability, good cardio, good volume, good pace. Yes, he has good feints, when he chooses to use them. But yeah, so for Leon Edwards, he has a nice snapping jab. We talked about it. He's good get-ups from guard. If you mount him, he kind of has a little trouble there. But yeah, just generally all around good defensive grappling and a high fight IQ. He knows how to win decisions. He knows how to avoid unnecessary risks to win the fight. So yeah, you don't have to worry about him straying from the game plan, getting sucked into a brawl. He's very calculated in there. So how these guys lose? Can't remember if I said that or not. So both these guys, it's the striking tendencies that we talked about before. So if you can't remember, just rewind that, or if you haven't listened to that, just click back to the striking tendencies section of the video. But also with Belal, I've got to add something, is that he's not a finisher. So if he does get down on the scorecards, it's very hard for him to come back or, have any way of coming back. So past the victory for these two, Belal needs to come in with the forward pressure. Also some occasional stance switches would be of service just to throw off the reads of Leon. Because, Belal did show a bit of the southpaw stance in his last fight against Lima. So, I think that wouldn't do him too badly. So, also hit the body, because he keeps that high guard, especially on the fence, look to hit the body. He's hit him with the left hook, that tendency that we talked about before, when he's when you cut off the cage, and just look for that left hook after that. So yeah, also, if you're going to try and go for takedowns, look to chain wrestle. Don't be expecting to get him down on the first attempt, unless you time a perfect, double leg or something like that. But also just leg kicks. Leon doesn't check leg kicks very often. So yeah, look to throw some leg kicks at range, maybe in that southpaw stance, or just that lead leg kick that you've been throwing lately. Also, just be aware of that clinch elbow. It can do a lot of damage. For Leon Edwards, look to get that jab going. As we said before, Belal does move his head off center line. Also, he's got quite a big head, so it's a good target for that jab. Yeah, look to get that jab going. Also, the body kick and the high kick, which will be open in southpaw versus orthodox. Knees to the body in the clinch, just to lower the guard of Muhammad, and then you can go with the slashing elbows over the top. But yeah, just generally, fight as you normally would. So how I see this one going? It's a very good short notice fight. Belal coming in with nothing to lose will certainly impact his game plan a little bit. But I believe this will be a very one-sided fight with Belal, showing his toughness like he did in the Jeff Neal fight. But I believe the jab of Leon Edwards will be the main story of this fight. Belal's tendency to also stay at kickboxing range will hurt him here. He did that against Millender versus Sato, who are kickboxers as well. But he had that takedown threat that he could always use against them. But I think he's going to have a hard time taking down Leon Edwards. Unless he times like a perfectly timed double leg, I see Leon being able to keep it on the feet. Also, if Belal does get him down, which I expect him to do at least once or twice maybe, Leon will get back to his feet immediately. He's very good at getting back to his feet, getting his base back. But yeah, I think Belal must pressure here, same as he did in the Lima fight. So he can't be at kickboxing range with Leon. But yeah, I think on the feet, Leon will be controlling the distance with his jab, with the body kick or the teep. And when Belal is coming in, he'll clinch up, Leon will clinch up and use his superior clinch offense in the clinch. So prediction is Edwards by decision. Leon's not a huge finisher. I don't see him finishing a tough and durable Belal Muhammad. So the way I line this fight is 74% in favor of Leon Edwards and 26% in favor of Belal Muhammad. So we'll have a look at the betting lines. So as you can see, the line is pretty much how I view it. Yeah, I don't want to pay that much juice on Leon Edwards just because he can be a little passive, a little low volume, and Belal definitely will bring the fight to him. But I just see him as the better mixed martial artist in this one. And I think anything that Belal does, he does a little bit better. So yeah, that's how I see the fight. I'm waiting for the props to come out. I might play Leon decision if it's around $2 or above $2. Probably play it small. But yeah, because Bilal's a very hard guy to bet at these odds against. So yeah, in my opinion, the line's probably right, but Bilal's got too much dog in him for you to bet against him at $3.